Over the past few weeks, we have learned a lot about holistic health, the history of it, and other elements that relate to it. We will use the knowledge and skills that we have learned in order for us to become great holistic practitioners. With all of the health concerns that society experiences, more and more people are switching to a more natural and holistic approach when it comes to their health. In this presentation, I will review the history and philosophy of holism and vitalism, compare holistic medical and conventional medical paradigms, discuss determinants of holistic health, and discuss holistic approaches to my own personal health concern of fatigue. Although holism has been around for thousands of years, the term was coined by Jan Christian Smuts in 1925. He was the one that managed to have the idea recognized as complementary to science. Far before Jan Christian Smuts recognized treating the system as a whole in his books, Egyptians, Greeks, Chinese, Africans, and many other cultures had different methods for treating these issues. In Egypt, they believed that an illness was a spirit invading the body, and a priest-doctor would attempt to drive the evil spirit out. Holism is the theory that the parts of a whole are in intimate interconnection such that they cannot exist independently of the whole, or cannot be understood without reference to the whole, which is thus regarded as greater than the sum of its parts. Vitalism is a philosophical theory that life contains an energy that comes from within and gives living beings the ability to live and thrive. It is believed that within the body you have a life force or spirit. In the 3rd century BC, Galen, a Greek anatomist, stated that the vital spirits are necessary for life. Although he made this statement early on, vitalism is best understood in the context of science in the 16th and 17th century. Originally, the theory was the belief that living organisms were different than non-living elements because the living organisms had an energy that non-living did not possess. Descartes and his successors explained how the phenomena were extended to the biological system in a mechanical way. It has become an unpopular view, even though there were several advocates throughout the 20th century. Although reductionism is different to holism in many ways, there are some similarities. Holism and traditional medicine relate to one another in a couple ways. There is usually a practitioner involved in the intervention that works with the patient. Both holism and traditional medicine can involve the use of medication. Despite what some people assume, holism is not totally against medication. Reductionism relates to modern medicine because it isolates and identifies one element with an issue. Modern medicine treats with medication based on a symptom for one problem, and reductionism identifies a condition by looking into one element. Reductionism is a philosophical position that believes the body is a complex system and can be better understood if each element or component is isolated and identified. Holism may look at the body, mind, and spirit as a whole, and reductionism may look at just one part of the system, but they both believe that the whole is the sum of its parts. There are many things that make up determinants of holistic health. These determinants are related to an internal and external environment. Examples of these determinants are age, sex, eating habits, sleep habits, social network, community, living conditions, work conditions, education, and housing, to name a few. There are several elements that are directly related to my PhD and determinants of holistic health. Sleep, diet, exercise, nature, stress, social activity are all elements that could use improvement as they are related to my PhD of fatigue. Not getting enough sleep, eating foods that are bad for you, lack of exercise, separating from nature, dealing with a lot of stress, and lack of social activities can decrease a person's vitality and cause health concerns. Noticing these issues has caused me to proactively improve these elements. I have cut out caffeine, eat less sugar, not only for diet concerns, but also for issues with not being able to sleep through the night. I have also cut out drinks before bedtime so I don't have to get up in the middle of the night. I have started exercising regularly, which helps me improve just more than fatigue. I have become more social as a result of the exercise and more active with my peers. I have noticed that my stress levels are now down and I enjoy doing more, whereas before I was too tired to do anything and it made me miserable. I have suffered from my PHC for many years after the birth of my 6-year-old son. I feel tired most of the time and do not wake rested. I often find myself starting to fall asleep if I sit or stand for too long in one place. I feel tired throughout the day no matter how much sleep I get each night. I usually sleep for 7 to 8 hours a night. There are several ways this PHC can be treated holistically. After giving myself an evaluation of personal vitality, I found that making changes to my diet, increasing exercise, practicing breathing exercising, reducing stress, and becoming more socially active, I can decrease my fatigue holistically. There are also several natural supplements that can help adrenal fatigue, which can happen when one is exposed to too much stress and the adrenal gland stops supplying the body with the right amount of cortisol at the right times. These supplements are B complex vitamins, vitamin C, magnesium, GABA, and rhodiola. They can all be helpful in supplying the body with natural health. In conclusion, there is so much knowledge that has been gained over the past 5 weeks and has changed my personal outlook on health. In this presentation, I reviewed the history and philosophy of holism and vitalism, compared holistic medical and conventional medical paradigms, discussed determinants of holistic health, and discussed holistic approaches to my own personal health concern of fatigue. I will now be able to help others in finding a holistic approach to taking care of their health concerns.